Hi. Welcome to the Instaronpa Podcast, episode 3.
Ooh.
My name is Gregg. You guys want to introduce yourselves?
Yes.
Okay. Here, you can go first, Nicky.
Okay, well, hey, it's me, Nicky, again. For the third time. Sweet.
I'm Angel or Apollo, and I'm here again.
And then this week we have as a very special guest. If you want to go ahead and introduce yourself and your Rompa, Spade.
Yeah. Spade or just Spade, and I run RonpaandFriends.
Sweet.
So,
That's what you're getting from me.
Do you want to talk a little bit about like the basic plot of Rompa and Friends for people who may not know what it is?
Sure. It's just, your normal Rompa, 16 people stuck in a location, gotta kill each other to get out. But I do it with Mickey and Friends characters because I have an unhealthy obsession with Mickey and Friends.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, God,
Primarily,
yeah.
I wanted to put a main focus on friendship and relationships throughout the entire Rompa, so I made the decision to do 2 protagonists, so we could see 2 sides of, like the group.
Mhm.
I like that.
Through one perspective. And I really just wanted to tear apart the Disney Mickey and Friends formula while still keeping it slightly intact,
Yeah.
Interesting.
Just present what Disney always does in another light.
Huh. That's actually really interesting. Huh.
All right. Okay. You guys want to start with the questions that we have prepared in the document?
Yeah. Also, this is gonna be edited out, so I'm just gonna say, I did say like in the doc, just go out of order with questions if you want. Just mark the ones that we've already asked with like an exclamation point. That way we aren't asking the same thing.
Your
Ideas.
specific-
Originally, I was going to do a Justice League Rompa, and then that turned into the TV shows DC Superhero Girls. And then eventually I was like, you know what? I don't love the characters enough to do this. What is something I know that I love so much? And I was looking through my Danganronpa. I have a private Discord with some friends, and I was looking through the Danganronpa channel they set up for me to just scream about the one fandom that I'm in. And I found a moment where I had said, my interests right now are Disney and Danganronpa, and those things do not mix. And I was like, hey, wait a minute, maybe they do. So that's what led me toward the idea of just the general premise for Rompa and Friends.
I mean, I never would have guessed like Disney characters are going to go into a Rompa, but you're doing it. I never would have had that idea.
Yeah, I mean, like Disney characters are pretty, childhood-like characters, and to throw them in like a situation that's like more grim and dark is really interesting.
That's why I like it.
Well, one of my big inspirations for how the like general tone would be was actually the Mickey, Donald, and Goofy, the Three Musketeers, which is one of my genuinely like favorite movies. I've watched it about 100 times. And there is a scene where Mickey is actually almost murdered. Pete tries to drown him, so he chains him to a dungeon floor, and it starts filling with water, and he does actually almost die. And I think like that movie having like, the Disney cartooniness but still being pretty like serious was probably one of the bigger inspirations for RNF.
Hmm.
Didn't realize how dark it could be.
Disney's gone there. Disney's gone there, all right.
Yeah, that's true.
I think what a lot of people forget is that with something as a property as like old as Disney, eventually you're just going to end up hiring fans to work on it, and fans, we can go to pretty wild places.
Yeah.
Yes.
Here's another question. What is your favorite CG to draw, your favorite BDA, and your favorite execution?
Oh man, I've done so many CGs. I think I would have to look through my folder to figure that one out, but I think my most recent one is Fenton and Donald shaking hands in the most recent updates.
Mhm.
Okay, yeah, I see that.
Yes.
That was unintentionally similar to a Penguin Rompa CG, which I ended up contacting Tofu midway through that one, like, hey, I accidentally copied you, is this okay? And we were both so into the idea that I ended up copying the background that Tofu used in theirs.
I like that.
That's amazing.
And you asked about body discoveries?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I really think the best one I successfully managed to put together was probably Darkwings.
Oh.
Don't remind me, sobs.
Yeah, sore subject for a lot of people that suffer. I think Darkwing's body discovery was a lot of fun to draw for one. It took me a little bit, but it was a good challenge. I at the time was still figuring out how exactly to draw certain things.
Mm-hmm.
Beaks especially were a very big problem for me for a long time, but I had just figured out how to draw that. I got it together. I figured out how to edit better on my mom's computer, which I'm no longer using, luckily. But yeah, I think that easily was Darkwings.
Oh, okay.
What about execution, which has been your favorite to come up with or make so far?
Without saying any spoilers, this current one that I'm working on.
Oh.
Yeah, just no spoilers. It's a lot of fun to make.
Get prepared.
Can't wait to come back to this episode in like a few weeks and be like, hey, I know what execution she's talking about.
Just
I
mentally
understand.
So I think you already did mention kind of why you chose Disney characters, but why did you choose the ones that you specifically did? Like the ones that you ended up putting into the Rompa.
So I don't actually have a solid reason for that. Honestly, making the cast list and then making the outline for how the murders were gonna go was a little bit of a blur. I think my main focus was I wanted to keep it House of Mouse and Disney Afternoon. So I threw in a bunch of Disney Afternoon characters, so mostly ones from DuckTales, and then I threw in a bunch of House of Mouse characters, and I called it good. Honestly, I don't know why I chose the characters I did, because when I first made the outline, I had not watched Rescue Rangers yet, so I did not know how Chip and Dale were going to act. Chip was not originally the antagonist. He ended up becoming like that after I watched Rescue Rangers and realized that he just acted like that in general. I saw one scene of him being a jerk and then immediately regretting it. I'm like, hey, I could probably get a good 350 words out of this.
I can, I guess, ask another question. What was, like, the most difficult thing about, like, keeping it going? Or, like, did you run into any, like, harder parts in the, like, story or, like, just art-wise?
I have run into hard parts in the story. Specifically, I tend to screw myself over with script writing. A lot of people seem to think that when I say I write a script, I have it all laid out. Most of the times I have important scenes written out, and then for filler, I literally just write in, yeah, just do something. So that I have hit moments where I'm like, oh, I have like writer's block. It's okay, I have a script that I can just copy and paste. Oh no, it literally just says, just write something.
Glad I'm not alone on that.
And that's happened about 6 times.
Wow.
So yeah, I've hit some roadblocks trying to make the slides and having to come up with words on them, on my own. That's why I try to keep a good backlog.
Mm.
I think
Alright.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, wait, sorry. I was just getting something out of my throat. If you have something to say, continue.
Oh no. I just think that in the God, it's been 7 months that I've run Rompa and Friends. I have run out of slides once.
Wow.
Well, at the same time, you make 50 slides every single night.
I do. I not to sound cocky or anything, but I do have my slide creation down to I have it together.
Oh, nice.
Okay. All right. Next question is do you have any scrapped ideas that you are comfortable sharing?
Plenty. I think the biggest one is Daisy's execution was not going to go the way it did.
Oh.
Famously, I changed it night of and remade the entire thing within 1 day.
Oh yeah, I
Oh,
remember that.
Oh,
Yeah. That became kind of an urban legend for a little bit. Originally, Daisy's execution was going to be based on presents. So she had a bunch of present boxes to open up, and she had to find a key. The reason Daisy is wearing a collar for no reason, it's a bomb collar.
Oh.
And she was supposed to find a bunch of open up a bunch of presents and find the key that removed the collar. And I ended up scrapping that because it was kind of boring. And it was just a whole lot of nothing, but I reused some assets, which ended up in her still having the collar on.
Just say it was there for decoration.
Yeah.
She got turned into a donut.
I guess I'll be asking a few questions about the cast again. But what made you choose the Intermission cast that you have currently?
So I think the intermission was absolutely just a off the top of my head, hey, this would be cool idea. It started with me watching Rescue Rangers for the first time, like I said, and finding out that Gadget is a really cool character, and I was like, holy crap, I need to put this mouse lady in somewhere. And then I was in class and I had just started doodling her with, kind of like Komaru Negi in the Danganronpa another episode?
I think
it
so.
is. I just
Yeah,
call it Ultra Spare
it's something
Girls.
like that.
Same.
The
Ultra
spin-off
Despair
game.
Girls.
I just
Ultra
started sketching her like that, and I was like, hey, this is a great idea. Who else can I throw in? So I came up with Max. There were actually a lot of intermission characters that were scrapped because I realized pretty quickly I don't have enough time to focus on these guys. But so I chose Max, Morgana, Huey, mostly for the character development of it all, and Hortensia.
Mm-hmm.
Who all was scrapped from that cast, if you remember?
I think the two I remember the most was the Araquan bird, from the Three Caballeros series, and just from their movies and everything, and also Gandra D from DuckTales.
Oh.
They were mostly scrapped. Gandra was scrapped because I already had someone who was, tech savvy in the group, and I couldn't really explain why she would be there. And the Araquan bird was scrapped because I forgot him.
Oh.
Poor boy.
Great.
Alright.
I feel bad for my man now.
Yeah, he would have
Bring
been
him
fun,
back.
but I put together all the sprites and I was tired and I was like, oh wait, I forgot Araquan bird. Never mind, not touching him anymore. I just left.
Right. I guess it's my turn. What? Sorry, I'm
We
not
should
good
really
at this.
establish an order. We're gonna keep doing this.
There is an order. I just sort of look at it and go, "Wait a minute." No, but what do you have as sources for inspiration?
Mostly, Mickey Mouse cartoons and the Danganronpa games in general. I think Rompa and Friends follows the Danganronpa format a lot more than other Rompas do. And that's intentional. I want to make it clear that Rompa and Friends is a Danganronpa AU. There are some things that are different, but primarily it is based on the Danganronpa games. But normally when I work on Rompa and Friends, I am actually, watching a Mickey Mouse show. Last night I was working on some stuff for the upcoming Deadly Life and Trial, and I was just watching Mickey and the Roadster Racers, which is a show intended for 7-year-olds, but I'm still watching it.
All right. Next question. Do you have any stories about development?
Could you elaborate on development? Just
Wait. Like, what were some things that you didn't expect that was going to happen while developing your story, like your Rompa?
I think the biggest development change was how I rewrote the last couple of chapters. Starting in chapter 3, I rewrote the last 3 chapters.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that was probably the biggest curveball that got thrown my way. And if we were going off of my original script, Gyra would have been this chapter's victim.
Oh.
He wasn't going to survive, so.
Damn.
It feels bad.
So that's probably the biggest challenge development-wise. Otherwise, no, things have actually gone fairly well with Rompa and Friends. I've hit, a couple of speed bumps now and again, but nothing too major.
So, what do you do if you start feeling like you're losing motivation?
Focus on
Anything else? Like any other projects?
well, I think the big comic that I'm working on right now is the case files of Wanda Cottontail, which has been a lot of fun to make because I really am just going completely apeshit with cartoony stuff and murder, which seems to be my new niche.
It's your trademark now.
Yeah. Yeah, I've started working on the first couple of issues. I've finally gotten some writing down. I've gotten some. I was going to have things out within a couple of months of me announcing that it was, in existence. And then I realized I didn't have a cast aside from the main 3, Wanda, Harvey, and Red that I had introduced. So I sat down, I made more characters, I figured out good plots, and I started actually writing down good scripts. So I've finally started working more on that, and it's been a lot of fun. I'm really excited to get it out there. And yeah, I think that it's going to be a lot of fun to read because I think that a big part of enjoying what you're reading is knowing that the person who made it had a lot of fun doing it too.
Mm-hmm.
That's a nice lesson.
Do you have any other plans for Rompas in the future that you want to talk about, or is that something that you just don't have?
Well, I think I've mentioned before that I tend to just write out Rompa plots in general, just for fun.
Yeah.
I don't always work on it. I don't want to go too into it. I will say that I do have plans for Rompa aside from Rompa and Friends.
Ooh.
Nikki, I'm pretty sure you've seen it before.
I think I have, but the thing is, I am very stupid, so I will forget. My brain cell count is in the negatives.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah,
Perverse.
I'm pretty sure you commented on the sprites that Spade has showed us, but then you just don't remember yours.
Listen, if it's any time between when I am awake and from when I wake up from when I go to sleep, everything is a blur. So I kind of just see something and my one functioning brain cell goes, "Ooh, look." I say something about it, I forget it 5 minutes later.
Okay, yeah,
Like
that's
you see
like
something, ooh, I love that. 2 minutes later, yo, what?
I'm like I'm the entire like meme of this monkey staring at another monkey, and it's like an image of the brain, and it's like neuron activation when monkey sees action.
Monkey.
Let's not talk about monkeys for too long. It's way too off topic.
Somebody could spoil their whole Rompa, and you'd be like, "Oh, that's cool," and then forget like 5 minutes. Like,
Yeah, I am stupid. I am stupid. Anyways,
At this
Angel.
point, I've practically spoiled my entire Rompa.
okay.
I think I've said this before, but like Bing could spoil the entirety of Danganronpa in like privately to me and keep it up, and I would respond with like, "Yo, that's dope," and then I would go back to watching whatever YouTube video I'm watching and completely forget.
Shut up, Nicky. Save that for the Bing interview.
Fuck. Okay, I'll just edit that in whenever we do the Bing interview.
It's just gonna sound really out of place.
Yeah. Anyways, let's get back on topic.
Okay. Alright, since you are, fuck, I forgot where the hell I was going there. Anyways, question is there any tips you would give for other creators out there who is making a Rompa?
Oh yeah. For one, you gotta have passion for what you're making a Rompa out of. Don't just do it for like the sake of making like something silly or you think it'd be a neat idea. You actually have to be a fan of whatever you're writing. Like, I know I just talked about how I had never watched Rescue Rangers before putting Chip and Dale in. However, you gotta if you don't have passion for what you're writing for, you're gonna lose motivation in an instant. It's just gonna die. And I think it's better to work on something you actually have a lot of passion and inspiration for, rather than just doing something because you think it'd be funny or you want followers. You gotta make a Rompa because you want to make a Rompa.
Mm-hmm. This one was added in very last minute. Why did you make your mono a light bulb?
Oh yeah. Funny thing, Monobulb is the 4th mono I tested out for Rompa and Friends.
Oh,
I think
wow.
I remember you mentioned like another one, but I didn't realize the 4th one.
Oh yeah, there were a lot. I think I still have some original scripts that list Bonkers D Bobcat as the mono. I originally had the first draft was Bonkers as the mono, but I removed him because I realized I really hated watching his show. This is gonna sound scandalous to any of my readers because I know that so many of you guys love Bonkers D Bobcat. I cannot stand that guy. I cannot stand him. I cannot stand his show, and I just put him in because I thought it'd be like, oh, haha, Bonkers is the mono, and then I realized like halfway through, wow, I hate Bonkers. So I wrote him out, and God, who was I think the next one was Zipper from Rescue Rangers, and he also got written out just because it didn't make sense for the storyline. And I can't for the life of me remember who the 3rd one was. But then I eventually landed on Monobulb. And I think I chose Monobulb primarily because I just felt like, it'd be a fun character. I think Little Bulb's design is easy for me to incorporate into the, mono format.
Mm-hmm.
And I also think the idea of a character who previously never spoke at all, suddenly having the ability to speak and just being complete and utter jerk is hilarious.
Like the funny uwu face of his.
Cool fun fact, Rompa and Friends was the first Instaronpa I found, even though I've probably told that story like 900 different times. Just to wait for Gregg to get their friend.
Honestly, the idea that my Rompa is what introduced a bunch of people to the community as a whole. Is just like, oh Jesus Christ.
I mean, I
Well,
think when I
whenever you-
first. Oh.
No, you go.
You
You go ahead. You go
Oh,
ahead.
okay. I was gonna say, I think when I first discovered it, I was like really surprised because most of the Rompas I knew about, they either didn't draw the sprites or backgrounds, or they drew the sprites. But then, like, I saw yours, and it was like all completely drawn, and like the sprites, the backgrounds, and I was like, "Whoa, that's insane!" Because as
Yeah,
someone
backgrounds.
who can't really draw backgrounds,
Oh,
I'm astonished.
all of you to assume I could draw backgrounds back then. I've gotten a lot better. I've
Still
been
better than
working
what I
on
can do.
backgrounds for Rompa and Friends too, so I've looking at the dining room kind of makes me go, oh boy.
Come on, man. We have a podcast to record. Help us out here. We can't make our own stuff. What do you expect us to be? Original Rompa creators? Wow, that's too hard.
My laugh is probably so obnoxious. I'm sorry.
No.
No, because like I keep thinking back to when Nicky said, "Oh yeah, we're just a bunch of kids reviewing a," and oh god, why is that so funny to me? Because like imagine, like those cliches where it's like 3 kids wearing like a big suit and then they're like pretending to be something big.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
We're
you
like
guys.
those. We're basically like those
It's 3 kids in a trench coat, except you guys have like an Oprah style talk show.
Oh my
The
god.
The only
Show.
difference is
Jimmy
we
Kimmel.
are nowhere near rich enough to be like, you get a car and you get a car.
3 in a
Look
trench
under
coat
your
are gonna
seat,
replace
free
Ellen.
money. Ellen.
Oh man.
Oh, no. No.
Ellen degenerate.
Yeah, no, you know what? We may not be great, but we're better than Ellen, and
You're
that's all
better
we can
than
hope
Ellen.
for. We're better than the voice of Dory.
She voiced Dory.
Did you not know that? Do kids today not know
I don't-
about Dory?
I knew
No,
about
I've
it.
seen the movie. I think I just because I don't watch many movies often. If I watch them, it's either like it's a lot of older movies nowadays. But like, I think when I watched it, I didn't know about Ellen, so I was like, "Ah, funny Dory makes funny sentences."
She says the funny just keeps swimming. Ah ha ha ha. I clap.
She's swimming. She's swimming.
Oh man. The fucking awkward silence after that.
It makes it funnier.
Oh, that's a knee slapper. Click.
Only funny to us because we're the only people who will know that there were just really long silences. They weren't
Yeah.
terribly long, but they were long-ish.
The
If we have
silences are.
Do you guys want to hear about Mortimer? Because he was probably one of the biggest like talked
Ooh.
about characters.
yes,
Yes.
I want to hear about Mortimer. I love Mortimer.
Yeah.
Watch us-
So a lot of people tend to pointed when I had Mortimer, do the shit that he did. A lot of people pointed to an episode of House of Mouse where he thought he killed Mickey and was horrifically remorseful over it. What I think a lot of people forgot about that scene is, for one, it was a prank on both people's sides. He didn't kill Mickey. Mickey pranked him into thinking he killed him, which kind of shows
What?
how
That's a
much of a
dark.
how
prank.
dark the House of Mouse adaptation of Mickey Mouse was.
Man.
But also Mortimer's reaction was equally a prank towards Mickey. It was like, "Oh, you think I care about you? Haha, funny thing." I
Ouch.
think that Mortimer is very much a every man for himself type of person. He looks out for number one and nothing more. He doesn't really feel empathy towards other people very often, or if he does, he tries to bury it down as much as he can. So the reason I wrote Mortimer the way I did is just because in this environment, there is no way that he would want to get out with other people.
Mm.
In the option between surviving on his own or getting killed by someone else in that game, he would have preferred surviving on his own, and it ended up being his downfall. So I think that
I
It's
like
probably
that.
the most in-depth look at Mortimer I ever got. And yesterday when I was watching Roadster Racers, the Morty McCool episode happened, and I got smacked upside the head because I did not expect to see him.
I think you did send like a picture of it to the IRS yesterday, and you were like, "This fucker."
I did. It was very much a blast to the past of the early Rompa and Friends Discord server days, where it's just like, oh my god, Morty McCool.
Dude, I love Mortimer. I'm gonna change my profile picture to Mortimer.
Dude, so someone else decided to respond, but all they said is Rompa and Friends Pog.
I agree. Rompa and Friends Pog.
Yes.
Rompa and Friends
Rompa and Friends epic moment. I don't know why I decided to ask him.
Fenton Pog.
No.
I have been open about season 2 if you want to ask anything.
Ooh.
Yes.
Does Mark Beeks live or die?
What I'll say about Mark Beeks is that I'm not gonna mess around with his character. I'm gonna portray him the way DuckTales 2017 would portray him, and maybe just a little bit differently. I don't want anyone to get their hopes up that he's getting some kind of redemption arc. I don't think Mark Beeks is up for that kind of thing, but he's not going to be he's going to be a joke character, but around the same level as Mortimer was, and Mortimer ended up giving the main character PTSD, so we'll see how that goes.
Spicy.
Sounds like a nice guy.
A lovely little duck man.
He's a parrot.
Oh, same thing. They're all
Lovely
parrots.
little
Nicky, he's a
man.
parrot!
Well, okay, if he's a parrot, why would they call it DuckTales? Like,
Because the main characters are ducks, Nicky.
dude, why the fuck would they not all be ducks?
Nicky, are you wrong
There's
about
more
your
animals in the rainbow.
DuckTales lore?
Listen, I saw the pilot episode of DuckTales 2017, and then I saw the IRS blow up about Mark Beeks 2 times, and that is the most interaction I've had with DuckTales 2017.
I just remember.
I think Mark Beeks is like Mark Zuckerberg, but a furry, and he's still
No,
a
he is.
capital.
His original name was Mark Zuckerberg.
Why?
They weren't allowed to name him that because of copyright issues.
I mean, yeah, Mark Zuckerberg is Mr. Facebook, man. You can't just name a fucking bird Mark Zuckerberg.
Oh, I thought of a question. If you're comfortable sharing, who do you think who is the most fun character to write so far in season 2?
I'm having a lot of fun with Claire Abel, and I'm having a lot of fun with Don Carnage and Baloo.
Oh.
Also, there has been a rare friendship sprouted out between Monterey Jack and a character that I can't say yet because he hasn't been revealed.
Oh.
Ooh.
It's mysterious.
A mysterious character. But yeah, Felicity has just been a lot of fun compared to Mickey and Minnie. Like, Mickey and Minnie are a ton of fun to write, do not get me wrong. I will always be writing something involving them. However, Felicity is just so much more blunt than they are.
Wonderful.
She is Mickey's older sister, and you can absolutely tell. She's the one that didn't go into the show business.
She looks like a stressed aunt.
I mean, she did just get divorced.
Oh.
Okay, yeah, there's that.
There's the whole divorce thing.
It's just a divorce.
One character I will say has been different than what I think a lot of people are expecting has been Julius.
Oh. There's a lot of because I sometimes take a peek in the Rompa and Friends server and I see theories about Julian, and he's always up for debate on what kind of role he's gonna have in season 2. So
well, yeah, his original personality was not the most clear. He had a personality, but it was never the most clear because it was the 1920s. Not a lot of characters had a lot of personality back then, and that was actually very interesting. What set Oswald the Lucky Rabbit apart from the rest of the Rubber Hose characters at the time is that he had a designated personality that they would work with, and they would play off of that instead of just molding him into whatever situation he would be involved in. And that's what really made him pop compared to, Felix the Cat, all these other cartoon characters at the time. And that's why he ended up becoming so beloved. And also, that is considered to also be what made Mickey Mouse as popular. because when Oswald was taken by Charles Muntz, the person who basically wrote out their personalities and everything was Walt, so they lost Oswald's personality. But in turn, it was given to Mickey, and that ended up making Mickey as popular as he was.
Oh. I also just realized how much Oswald's name still hurts everyone.
Yeah, quick Rompa and Friends spoilers here. I killed the rabbit.
I'm sad. It was funny because the spoilers chat, I just see everyone scream, and I'm like, what's happening? And then I open Instagram, I'm like, oh, I see now. And then I cried.
I told you
think
guys
that
it
was,
was going to
like-
be a fan favorite.
I think that last night was the most depressed I've ever seen the IRS.
I don't know what you mean. Daisy's execution.
I wasn't there for that. I've been there for like 2 months, I think.
Oh, that was also a depressing time.
Yep.
This is a quick question. You guys are free to edit this out. Did you guys ever elaborate on what the IRS is to your viewers?
Don't think
Shit.
we have.
Yeah, because I was gonna say I was listening to your guys' videos, and I was like, hey, hang on. Did they ever say what the IRS is?
Oh no.
Yeah, no, we're actually just talking about the tax collecting agency with the IRS. We're
Oh,
not
that's
talking
nice.
about the Instaronpa creator server. That's
Yeah.
actually it's a cool club for Rompa creators, and by that I mean we cry a lot, and that's about it.
And we become PETA. Sorry.
We cry.
Yeah.
We just cry a lot. Complain about writing. Complain about servers. Complain about readers. Support each other, and then that's it.
Yeah.
I'll actually probably leave that in because the best time to talk about what something is 3 episodes into something.
Yeah.
It's never too late.
Oh hell yeah! I mean,
Yeah, I
listen,
mean,
if things like the TV show Lost, which I love the show, but the ending was abysmal because they didn't know what they were doing. If they can get on network TV and have millions of dollars in funding, we can do it too. As a bunch of, I don't know the right word to describe us, a bunch of sad people sitting around on a Discord call with $0 between us. We can do it
Ragtag
too.
baseball teams in a Disney original movie from the 90s that's about to get the championship.
Huh?
Just say yes.
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 Yeah.
I just heard Disney movie from the 90s, and the only thing that came... I heard that, and I was like, Cool Runnings? The fucking, like, Jamaicans that are, like, sledding or some shit?
Look, I'm always just thinking about Fuzzbucket.
No,
Oh,
let's
oh,
fuck.
no. Not
Just
Fuzzbucket.
creating
No.
chaos in the call.
No.
Do not bring a Fuzzbucket in the podcast.
We should make the title of this one Stan Fuzzbucket.
No, his
Okay.
face is appearing in my face. No. His face is appearing in my mind again. It's just that one stupid smile that he has.
Here,
I've
every
seen
time we
that.
say the name Fuzzbucket in this episode, I'll just throw up a quick, like, poster of the movie.
No. It's just so hard.
I'm not actually going to do that. That's too hard.
That poster haunts and vexes me because there's 2 guys in it that they were not in the movie.
They're just like,
Hey.
hey.
He's like, why the fuck is Fuzzbucket?
Well, I'm
He's
the one you guys
invading.
are interviewing, so
Yeah, they should know.
Oh
Actually,
my
okay, wait. Should we make this episode title Stan Fuzzbucket?
Yes.
Okay,
yeah,
perfect.
sure.
Sweet. It's a very terrible thing that I have taken over editing and posting for these, because now titles of the episodes are going to be garbage.
Nicky holds the power we all fear.
Yeah, I think we had us
You've gone
talking
too
about
far.
Fuzzbucket for a bit too long, which is any length of time.
I
I think that we
completely
should end
derailed
this
from
here.
Look, the fact of the matter is, Rompa and Friends Season 3, Fuzzbucket is the pro tag. You can't stop me.
Oh my
Fuck
god.
yeah. I'll actually read it then.
My God.
That sounded really mean.
No, it's okay. I don't read this thing either.
Wait a minute.
Anyways, who wants to do the outro?
Thanks for coming. It was.
You got this, Greg.
Do it.
I didn't. Thank
You
you
started
for.
talking.
Thanks for listening to the podcast. To those who stuck around, thank you, and to those who didn't stick around, why?
You won't be hearing this.
But
Uh,
yeah.
Yeah. Go watch Fuzzbucket. When did
No.
it come out, Spade? Where can we watch Fuzzbucket?
It came out in 1984.
Oh my god.
Is it
Fuzzbucket's older
available
than
on
me.
Disney Plus?
It is available on Disney Plus. It was a part of a anthology TV series that they ended up integrating into a film. And essentially it was supposed to be a pilot for a TV show that did not get picked up. And I just want you to picture Fuzzbucket, but a TV show.
That would be my favorite TV show.
That's why I'm furiously biking down to Disney's headquarters so I can break down their door and pitch to them the Fuzzbucket animated TV series.
And also the Rompa and Friends animated TV series coming.
Oh no! Look, I'm already I'm skating on thin ice on that one.
Spade, that's interesting, but that does not make Fuzzbucket any better.
That's what you think.
Fuzzbucket's already a king.
It's
Anyways,
a matter of opinion.
we dragged this outro out for a tad too long. Go watch Fuzzbucket on Disney Plus and read Rompa and Fuzz on Instagram. Thanks for listening, and goodbye.